with moments of excitement. LiveSource is a new game-changing app that allows you to create auctions instantly during these moments, as the crowd's excitement is at a fevered pitch.
Comes back with his second triple of the game.
Imagine, after spectacular moments, you could remove any item from the field of play and place it into a live auction in less than a minute while the game is still on. Imagine the fans in attendance bidding on and winning one-of-a-kind memorabilia and experiences from that event while the event is still going on. LiveSource handles the heavy lifting so that there are no limits on what can be sold or when it can be sold. Auctions can be created in less than 60 seconds, at which time the app immediately notifies fans to start bidding, determines the winning bidder, and arranges payment and delivery moments later. Excite your audience with highly shareable moments. Motivate more fans to attend your event, increase revenue. With LiveSource, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Well, thank you, LiveSource, for the support of NAL Live. It's been great to have LiveSource on board. Again, I'm always plugging LiveSource, even before they were partnered with the show, just because it's a great tool. Teams are using it. I know Carolina Cobras are using it, Columbus Lions, Predators, pretty much everybody. So we're back again, another show. As always, post where you're tuning in from. What city, state, country, and then what team you're supporting, and then let's get some questions. We've got another player with us today. He's got some great experience as well, and I love it. Just getting the opportunity to kind of hear the stories of all the guys, because they all got different stories, different struggles, different successes, and love to kind of see that journey. So today we've got Julius Gregory, he's wide receiver with the Carolina Cobras. How's it going?
Man, it's going good. How you doing?
Man, I love it that it's light out still. It's almost 7 o'clock. So I'm excited about that. So
yeah, true indeed. Still can't quite go outside freely yet, but we're making it best.
Where you at right now?
So right now I'm currently in Portsmouth, Virginia. Probably just outside of Norfolk, the Hampton Roads area. So
okay,
for those sports fans who are familiar with the Hampton Roads area, the Michael Vicks, the Allen Iversons, the Bruce Smiths, the Cam Chancellors, that area.
Yeah, no, that's a great area. We got people from Texas on here, Philadelphia,
Philly. I like it.
Albany. I'm down in sunny Florida. So
Albany. I got some funny stories about Albany, New York.
Good. Well, we got to make sure we get to them.
Yeah.
So I always let's start off with kind of where you grew up and when you first got involved in football and sports.
Well, I grew up in the Portsmouth, Virginia area. Got in sports when I was like 4. My dad was a big sports fan, played football, played in CFL for a little bit, coached me when I was a kid. So football was one of the sports I always, loved. But then I had other sports like soccer and baseball and basketball. And technically, to be honest with you, if I had to choose a sport going all the way back, I probably would have stuck with baseball, because I think I was a way better athlete in baseball to me than I was in all the other ones. Football was just more of a contact, feel of energy type sport. So, plus my dad played it, so it drew me to it a little bit more.
What age were you thinking that you were a better baseball player than you were a football player?
Honestly, all the way up into high school. It's funny because I like being from the rural area down in the city. Most of our coaches, they don't really teach you the fundamentals. So I had the luxury of playing for a guy who dad played in the MLB. So I learned the different small things that most average city kids don't know. So then when I started playing Pony League and traveling and, going to different places, going to Pennsylvania, going to Georgia, going to Florida to play, and you're like, man, you playing against some of the best talent in the world. and you like, oh man, maybe I need to switch it up. Plus, it's always hot, so you never get to play. Like you never play in bad weather. The most you got to worry about is a turf burn, well, a dirt burn from sliding across the dirt. So that was a good thing for me.
So at what point did you kind of realize like, okay, football is kind of, what's going to take you to the next level?
It was probably 11th, 12th grade in high school. I had hit a growth spurt because I was like 6', 6'1", all the way into like my junior year in high school. So coming to my junior year in high school, I got up to like 6'3.5". And then all my coaches was like, man, you would be a great receiver. You would be a great receiver. But I was always a defensive guy. I'd rather play safety or linebacker, some corner, or something like that. So it was like, or quarterback. So it was like, I really like playing receiver. Plus, I felt like, playing receiver, my mentality when I was young was like, I want to make the play. I want to make the play. So, it's a lot of obstacles because they got to even happen before you can even make a play. So it was like, well, maybe I can just stop people from making plays. So my senior year, I came back, I was like 6'4.5", almost 6'5". And they had implemented a whole package for me. So it was like, okay, well, maybe I'll stick to receiver. And I end up putting up some pretty good numbers, I had a lot of college recruiting letters, but it was more so for defense. So I knew I wanted to go somewhere far. I wasn't one of those kids who was stuck on D1, D1, D1. My dream school was Miami because of the 2001, 2002 Hurricanes. But other than that, I was one of those kids who was taught, education to get you further in sports. So to me, any school that was willing to give me a full ride for education, that's where I was going to go. So that's what my mind was basically coming out of high school. It was till I went to prep school and played with Antonio Brown and the Antonio Brown. He was my quarterback. So until I went and played with him, it was like more so, okay, well, maybe I can really go to the next level with this. So when I signed to Shaw University, Raleigh D2, it was like Philip Barnett, my roommate. Yeah. So when I signed to Shaw University, I had some great coaches, man. Darryl Asbury was the head coach. I had Keenan Bullwell was my defensive coordinator. I had Robert Massey. You might have, if people remember, Robert Massey was the guy Michael Irvin was talking about in his speech about guys who just hard to go against. So I had good teachers at the next level to prepare me to do the things that I was taught to do in plays I was made as a kid. To me, it was more so learning the mental aspect of the game and how to distinguish coverages and, reading on the run and, being more of a teammate on and off the field. That was the biggest things for me, because coming from where I come from is a me first mentality. So you got to have that me first mentality. It's not always a good thing, but it kind of helped me because it showed me that it's not always about you. If you just trust the guys beside you to do what you do. Laugh, what's up? If you just trust the guys beside you to do what you do, man, anything's accomplished.
They're fighting over who's
Look at these guys, man. These my guys, man. So Jerron, he was my roommate my rookie year, first ever playing arena football ever. I was coming off a back injury in college where I wasn't really sure if I can take contact anymore. I ended up fracturing my 2 bones in my spine and my L2 coming in the playoff game. So I kind of took a year off. So that kind of held my NFL status back for a little bit. So I kind of took a year off. So I ended up going to a workout down in Charlotte and making the team with the Charlotte Force. And me and Jerron was in roommates, man. And, I ended up going on and getting signed to the Georgia Force for a little bit in 2012. And then came back down to the AAL and played with the York Capitals in 13-14. And then Philip Barnett was my roommate our rookie year in Tampa with the Tampa Bay Storm. And that was honestly some of the best football, like on and off the field, that you can ever imagine, especially for me and Phil. I don't know how Phil feel about it, but they play with Tampa and you go down to Tampa and if you kept up with football, everybody know who TT Tolliver is.
Oh, yeah.
So to go down and to be in the locker room, to learn the game from him, to see his preparation, to learn, the game from his aspect, and then playing for another Hall of Famer in Lawrence Samuels, it's just like, man, you get the best of both worlds. If you don't prosper in that situation, then the game not for you.
So I kind of we skipped over it a little bit, but like when you were in college, was your eye on, the NFL at that point? Like, what was your mindset and what were you thinking there?
My mindset in college was to go to the NFL. I was projected my senior year to be a 4th-round draft pick to the Eagles before getting hurt. Like I said, coming from a small school, I feel like you more in tune to fit a system versus, going from a big school, the system is already there. So it's not like they cater to the athletes they bring in, because they bring in athletes that cater to their system. Versus going to a small school is not so much of a systematic problem. It's more of what athletes can do what to, help the school. So being a small school guy, I feel like that helped me prepare myself for all the obstacles that could possibly come from, being overlooked, being told what you can't do, to, not even getting a chance to the other guys at bigger schools would get to even make the league. So my drive to, put up the numbers, and when we played against D1 schools, to really be locked in and do everything I can to stand out on film was a big drive to me. Not so much the league, is just to compete, period. To show that I'm worthy to be named with other guys that's in the high of the totem pole.
So did you start getting any workouts? Did you have an agent at the time?
I didn't get an agent until I started playing arena ball, like my second year of arena ball. My cousin Bobby Rome at the time, he was in Russia starting college football, and he had told me about an agent that he was working with. He was coming out of the University of North Carolina, and my agent had me some workouts. I could say I worked out in front of 16 of the 32 NFL teams. I had teams that wanted to sign me, like the Bucks, the 49ers, the Broncos flew me out there twice, doing a Super Bowl run, the last one with Peyton Manning. So I feel like I had the opportunities, and I didn't get any bad reports. So it wasn't my talent that didn't keep me there. That's what made me understand the business aspect of the game. Meaning, like, it's not always the best guy gonna get the opportunity. It's more so who fits the business financially, who can fit the business as being marketable, who can fit the business as, what I mean? It's a lot of different things, man, that I tell my athletes now, with me being into coaching, that it's not always your talent. Sometimes it's who you know, sometimes it's what you can do, and sometimes it's what you know, but the best guys don't always get the shot. So you want to put yourself in the best situations at all times to be marketable.
And the talent level is ridiculous. I mean, there's great players out there. Like, I mean, look at your highlight tape, for example. It's like, you're a beast. So it's like, this league, the NAL, has just a ton of studs that have the ability. And like you said, I mean, it's multiple things. And sometimes it's timing.
A lot of guys.
Sometimes it's salary cap, roster, there's so many different variables. I've seen it time and time again, but at that point, were you like, okay, hey, I'm going to just go, I got an offer to play arena football, so I'm going to go that route, still working for that, that big prize at the NFL?
Yeah, I was playing in the lower levels. I had got a lot of invites to, a lot of the AFL teams, like the top-notch teams, but at the time, you had to pay for your own travel. So it was either pay for my own travel to keep going back and forth across the country to all these workouts, or try to use some of that money I was making to support my living. So some of the workouts I didn't make it to, some of the workouts I did make it to. I never had a workout in the AFL or NAL where I didn't go and do what I was supposed to do and get signed. So I'm blessed to say that. I mean, maybe, throughout the course of the season, injuries happen, they bring in other players and stuff like that. But my ultimate goal when I first started playing was, okay, the NFL they don't overlook me. So, I mean, if it's meant to be, it's going to be. But what I'm not going to do is cheat my fans and cheat myself and cheat my coaches that gave me a shot, and not get them everything I got to try to chase the league. So to me, it was more so be appreciative of what you have and showcase what you want the world to see.
Yeah, no, I mean that's all you can do. What so kind of walk me through your journey in arena football.
So 2012, like I said, I was coming off an injury, off a 1.5 year injury with lower back. I went to a workout in Charlotte, got signed. I played 3 games there, and I had already had like 700 yards and like 25 touchdowns.
Damn.
And yeah, my first arena game ever, I had, I think, 9 receptions, 8 touchdowns, for like 257 yards or something like that.
Damn,
So,
oh man.
they sent my film down to Georgia.
Did they have defenders on the field?
Man, it was, to me, like, it was like receiver was receiver, like, and then, you know, when you playing inside, a lot of the DBs way smaller than we are.
Oh yeah.
So coming out of college, I was like 6'4.5", 235, 240. Playing receiver, so it won't really nothing you was gonna be able to do, and you give me a chance to run full speed. So did that in 2012. Went down to Georgia, signed with the Georgia Force. End up finding out I broke my wrist. Didn't know my wrist was broke. So I didn't pass the physical. So I ended up going back to my old team in Charlotte, and we end up having a playoff game. We end up winning the first round, but we lost in the second round. So 13 and 14, I went up and played with the York Capitals. Played with the York Capitals. Somehow John Elway got my film, and he had sent me an email about coming up there the first time. So I came up the first time. Workout, great rapport.
What was that like though?
Man, it was like, I thought I was gonna be like starstruck, but I wasn't. It was like I was more starstruck of like the facilities, like seeing the Lombardi trophies up close and personal, seeing, you know, the Bronco statue, even with Peyton Manning and them being out there, it wasn't like, well, he wasn't out there then, but the second time I went out, but just being out there the first time, it was just like, wow, this is Denver. This was Shannon Sharp played. Like Rod Smith, I'm like, wow, this is like, I watched these guys go to back-to-back Super Bowls, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watched this guy win a Super Bowl, but he was a great guy. He was making jokes about, like you just said, was there any defenders out there? And he was asking me about Scott Lorenzen, because Scott Lorenzen was playing in another league, and I think he was like 400 pounds playing quarterback or something like that. So he was asking me, was he in my league? And I was telling him no. And then I came back home and I signed we're in 2015 now. I signed to the Tampa Bay Storm. I go out to Tampa Bay. I have an exceptional rookie season. And it started off rocky. Like, I had times where I called myself leaving my car at home because I wanted to go down there and be focused. And then the first week of the season, I didn't play much, but it was a new experience. I was behind veterans, so I knew I wasn't gonna play. Second week of the season, I didn't travel. And that's where I made the decision where, like, is this really for me? Like, I wanted to go home, and I'm like, man, I bust my butt in practice. I'm getting all these good reports. People telling me I should be playing. I'm hearing it from the vets. I'm hearing it from the starters. Why I can't crack the lineup? I played last week, why I'm not playing this week. So I came home to get my car, and I talked to my mom. I talked to my dad and told them what was going on. They was like, man, we didn't raise no quitter. Like, you're going to go back down there and do what you're supposed to do. So I ended up driving back. Mind you, not thinking Tampa was that far of a drive. I'm looking on Google, it say 10 hours. I'm like, okay, I can knock out 10 hours. Cool.
It's more than 10 hours, man.
I left Sunday morning Sunday afternoon around about 1 o'clock. I ain't get to Tampa till Monday morning, 7:45. Practice started at 8:30.
Wow.
I had to go straight to practice, man. So Coach A already knew I was coming from home. So I was drained. I was still practice fairly decent. I was tired though. So one of the starters had got hurt. So he was like, Gregory, we going with you. He was like, and so Samuels pulled me to the side after everybody left. It was like, I brought you here for a reason. He was like, don't make me look bad. And I promised him, I was like, Coach, if you put me on that field, I won't make you look bad. So had a great rookie season. We switch over. I come back the following year in 2016. I end up hurting my knee. First game of the season against Orlando. Back there, you being a personal protector, trying to pick up the ball. Dude hit me on the knee. I ended up missing, I think the next 6 games after that. Came back and played against my little brother, Joe Powell, who was in Cleveland at the time. We had a great game. We end up losing that game, I think, in overtime or something like that on a Hail Mary to me. It got broken up and picked off or something like that. Then me and Derrick Brooks wasn't seeing eye to eye on like some of my treatment stuff. I felt like I should have got, a little more treatment on my knee in between, like, practices and stuff. And, he tried to take care of me as much as he could, but by him physically not being a doctor, I mean, it wasn't too much he can do other than, what he was doing. But everything was good with me and Derrick. He sat me down and told me the direction they wanted to go with the team. Say he wanted to go with a few of the younger guys. And me not understanding the business at the time of the AFL, I'm like, I am one of the younger guys. So I ended up getting traded to Arizona, to the Rattlers, which was, I think, the absolute best and worst thing that happened to my AFL career. I'm going to start with the best first. The best because I went from playing with just one Hall of Famer to playing with a plethora of Hall of Famers. Rod Windsor, Mo P, Nick Davila, Carey. So it was like I was playing with a lot. We loaded. I already knew we was going to the Arena Bowl. And everything's going great. And waiting my turn to play. I end up getting chosen to play against Cleveland in the conference championship game. We end up winning that game. So I did win the conference championship with the Rattlers. So where it gets bad. And I never told nobody this story, Andrew. I never told nobody this story. If I'm wrong and people feel some type of way, please comment. But in my personal perception, this is how I feel. And this is the first time that I'm telling y'all this on NAL Live.
Breaking news.
I feel like Cy Burley kind of tarnished my AFL name. It came down between me and my roommate, which was Antonio Vaughn at the time. Antonio Vaughn had been there, I guess, a year or two before I got there, but every time it was his turn to play, he was injured. So everybody know Kevin Guy. Kevin Guy, next man up. He traded for me and brought me out there for a reason, because if you go back and check all my tapes against Arizona, I had great games against Arizona. Great games, whether it was there or whether it was in Tampa. So Kevin pulled me aside and was like, Julius, I'm picking you for the game. I'm going with you. And this is going into the Arena Bowl against Philly. Coach Burley goes to him and tells him, oh, Julius don't know his plays. Julius don't come to meetings. Julius do this. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I ride to the facility with Antonio every day. So if he here, I know I'm here. So got a big misunderstanding, man. And this is where I click. And this was my last draw with, learning the business. I felt like after this happened to me, it was nothing else that could happen to me. I didn't have a situation that didn't apply to it. So I end up getting released 2 days before the Arena Bowl. 2 days before the Arena Bowl. They end up losing to Philly. Long story short, I don't hold no grudges. I felt like everything happens for a reason. You learn from every situation. I end up getting signed to Washington, so it wasn't like no bad blood or nothing. So I end up getting signed to Washington the first year. There was a team. I end up choosing Washington over Baltimore because both teams wanted me the same year that it was opening up. But I ended up choosing Washington because I felt like Washington was a better market. With me being into personal training and coaching, I was more involved and knew more people in the DMV area versus the Baltimore area. So I chose Washington over Baltimore. I had a great time in Washington, playing for Coach Coquinos and Monumental Sports Group. Amazing ownership group. Like when I tell you they're top notch. Like
they own like every darn team in DC just about.
That's what I'm telling you. And it's not like when I say top notch, it's not like they leave teams out. Like when the WNBA women's team won it, the arena teams was a part of they celebrations, and vice versa when the football team won it. So they run all their organizations top notch. So I take my hats off to them. So after Washington, I end up going to Albany. And I told you I had funny stories about Albany, New York.
Yeah.
I end up going to Albany with Coach Keith. And
to play. You signed to play up there.
Yeah, I signed to play up there with Coach Keith as a receiver. Okay. And I already knew what it was. Coach Keith pulled me in the office and gave me the little rundown, the coach's spiel on what the direction they wanted to go. But in all details, yes, Joe Hills was coming to town. So they was like, look, we ain't got no room for you and Joe Hills. So I mean, I can deal with that. Coach Keith had Tommy Grady coming in. Grady was more comfortable with Joe Hill, so I can respect that. But my funny stories about Albany, May is almost here. Red's ready. But my funny stories about Albany, that was the first place I went to, the furthest north I've been to. I didn't know it was that close to Canada. So when I got up there, it snowed, rained, and the sun was out every single day. Like I had never seen 3-4 inches of snow, maybe 5-6 inches of snow by 10 o'clock in the morning. It's melted by 12. It's raining by 3, and they do it all over again every single day. And we talking about April, May. So I was like, man, this coming from the 757. I'm like, oh, this is different. Like I left home, it was 80, 90 degrees. I still got to wear a coat up here. So I end up leaving Albany, coming home for some family reasons, and I stopped loving it. I kind of fell out of love for the game, and I always kept myself working out and motivated, and either playing semi-pro or flag just to keep myself in shape. But as far as like the competitive,
what was it though? Was it the business of the game that
I think it was it gotta be, because like I love the game now. Like I can't take myself away from it. Whether I'm playing Madden, whether I'm out in the neighborhood helping the kids, I'm doing something in the football nature. But it's just like when you keep giving your all, like everything you got, and somebody who, I mean, I understand you got a job to do, but at the end of the day, you're gonna eat. Like you're good. Like you just taking my plate from me, and I can't do nothing about it. So it's just like you start losing the love for it. You start saying, man, what else can I do to generate revenue? That's why so many of us, then went away and retired and went and got jobs and doing other stuff, because it's like, y'all, they don't pay us millions of dollars. Like, to be honest, I say this all the time. Our game is way more dangerous than the NFL. Way more dangerous. You just got way more sponsorship money too in the NFL. Like,
right.
You can't tell no NFL receiver come on a shortened field, width and length, go over walls if need be, or hit those walls every play, and they be like, okay, I'm gonna do that. They gonna be like, man, you crazy. Remember T.O. tried it. He told people it's not for everybody. So it's like when you look at what we do and how much we give back to the fans, I think the indoor game is second to none. I wish the indoor game could get more following, could get more sponsors who can push it, where even if they did take it outside, it still had like the indoor feel to it, like the 50-yard fields, with the walls. Because looking at, the fan control league, I think they have a good makeup and model of what the new field should look like, as far as the touchdown sequences when they go celebrate in the back of the end zone. I like how they involve the fans and all that, but I still want you to keep the structure part as far as the managers and the GM. I just want the managers and the GMs to understand that most of you guys were athletes too. Don't switch over to the shirt and tie side and forget that you was once an athlete. Like, this is how we support our family. And in order for us to support our families, we need to be, well taken care of. It's not all about the money sometimes. Like, like NFL guys, NBA guys, when they retire, the first thing they do is go straight to commentating, sports broadcasting. Like, what can we set up, for guys who retire from the NAL or guys who retire from the AFL? What avenues and businesses can we create for guys like me when 2-3 years from now, when I be 35, when I be like, okay, I'm done, what can I transition into? Nothing but the real world. So
but that's how you gotta think about it now. You gotta really think about it now. And when I used to own teams, that was an area of focus that I like to do. It's like, how can I help you develop something outside of the game? Right. Can I help you create a business or a foundation or whatever? Start thinking about career after football, but don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait until it's over. Right. You want to be doing something or so it's an easier transition. Yeah. Plus now you have a platform. So if I want to say, just like with Devin in Jacksonville, wide receiver. That's my guy. We're talking about he's talking about creating a foundation. And now's the best time to start that because you're in front of those fans all the time. Right. Same thing with LiveSource. Like I told Dev, you give out your gloves every game. Some of these guys are giving out gloves after the game, the fans. Throw them up on an auction and let people bid on them. And they could bid exactly during the game. You give it to them right afterwards. Now you at least covered the cost of the gloves. You can then donate the money if you want to a charity, or you're able to make a few extra bucks. There's nothing wrong with that. You're right, because man, I done gave out so much of my hard-earned paraphernalia. Like every game, can I get your gloves? Can I get your towel? I done had people ask me my mouthpiece, my wristband, my headband. Don't do the mouthpiece, man. Right. Like, you want my mouthpiece? No, you can't have that, but you can get my gloves or my towel or something like that. But LiveSource is available for, like, if you wanted to set up an account with LiveSource, it's free. It doesn't cost you any money. Right. And it's like, it's another way to build your fan base and decide what you want to do. I mean, hell, I'm 42, and sometimes I think, man, do I know what I want to do when I grow up? So, I mean, you don't have to have all the answers now, but no, you don't. You definitely, start thinking about things and then position yourself. I mean, I think it's, almost everyone that's come on the show, I've they've got my number, and I'm like, look, call me, hit me up. Even if you want free business advice. I mean, I've owned a ton of businesses, bought and sold, a bunch of sports teams, non-sports teams. So anywhere that I can help, it's one thing that as I get older, it's what I enjoy, is helping other people, whether that's staff, just other people that I meet, even strangers on social media. If I can help connect people, that's great. So, all right, enough about that, because we'll talk more about that stuff. I get passionate when we start talking business and like, man, you got to, man. That's the way of life now. That's my fun point. So out of, you've traveled all around. What are some of your favorite arenas to play on as an away team? So if you're the visiting team. Oh, Andrew, you're going to do me like that. Now, are we okay? Now let's break it down into categories. Are we going based off fans? Are we going based off how it look? Let's go both. Let's do both. Okay. So I'm gonna break it down like this. So fan wise, I'm gonna say Jacksonville, Orlando. I mean, the war on I-4, playing in Tampa, you got to go to Jacksonville, and you got to go to Orlando. So them two is standard to none. Albany,
Albany is going to be hectic. For those who don't know about Albany, when you go in there, you better be ready to wear big boy draws because them fans is coming. Columbus got a great fan base as well. Columbus has a great fan base. And you know, of course, the greatest arena ever is Greensboro Coliseum. I mean, who don't want to come to the Snake Pit? Like, that's the you get everything you want. If you want to party, we got the downtown life. You want, you know, you really want. We got basketball. We got the youth kid. We got youth AAU basketball. We got the college basketball. I mean, so we got so much to offer, you know, in Greensboro. I mean, if you want to go down the street and check out, you know, the Hornets and Michael Jordan, we right there. So I mean, of course, Greensboro is #1 place to come to as a fan, as a away team, as a home team. The Snake Pit is the place to be. But like I said, as far as like us going other places, I think between Jacksonville, Albany, Columbus, and Orlando would be the top 4.
Pretty much
arenas.
the whole damn league. Come on, man.
I mean, they earned it, man.
Are you giving me a political answer? Politically correct?
No, I'm giving you the real answer because Orlando fans might be the most disrespectful. Because they
crazy
do
down here in Orlando.
They do their homework, man. I'm listening. They do their homework. Like, they call out personal stuff. They call out stuff they ain't supposed to know. Like, they was telling me my mom maiden name. I'm like, wait a minute, how you even know that? Like, you're not even supposed to know that.
Is your last 4 of your social 2651?
They be calling out, man, crazy stuff, man. And like I said, look, when I put Orlando #1, my rookie year, TT scores a touchdown against Orlando. He goes to the hot tub, starts dancing at the hot tub, runs back down right in front of Rob Keefe, and tell Rob Keefe, "You ain't nothing." I said, "Oh man,
what Keith do? Did he? Did he go crazy?
Keith turned red, strawberry red. You know he get fiery. He real jittery when he talk anyway. So, oh man, TT fired him up. But you know they had a little bad blood because TT was in Orlando the year before. So it was a great rivalry, man. It was crazy. Like Orlando. And plus the NBA team played us, so you know they got all the up-to-date technology and iPod stations in your locker and your own port, your own outlet, so you can charge your devices. So Orlando, the best setup arena in the league.
I mean, you're in an NBA arena. I mean, you can't get much better than that. What are some of your most fond or proud memories playing?
My most fond, well, as far as AFL or arena or just football period?
Yeah, in general.
I think my first college conference championship in 2007. Because we had won the junior college prep school championship, but it wasn't the same. It was like knowing where everybody came from, knowing that the coach had really came and got all us on a charter bus. And, you know, like we bonded through traveling, picking up other players and getting to meet their families and being held accountable, stuff like that. That was my fondest memory because I felt like I had accomplished something with a brotherhood, like with a group of brothers that I felt like that I still talk to this day. Like we all still, you know, communicate and wish each other the best of luck, you know, through anything that we're doing. And my second moment would be my last conference championship, because I won 3 in college. My last one, which was 2010, and that one was because my mom and my dad was there. That was the first time they seen me win a championship, with them being there together. So them 2 moments I will forever, you know, be grateful and thankful for, and they will always be on the totem pole of my sports accomplishments, unless I win like you know, like a Super Bowl or NBA championship, which ain't never gonna happen. So I don't think nothing you know, surpass those 2.
You never know, man. You never know. I'll tell you what. I had a kid that worked for me as an intern from St. Louis when I had the St. Louis attack. And
I remember them.
yeah,
I think I was in York then.
Okay. And then he was an intern. Then I hired him full time. Then I started a soccer team in Florida, brought him down here, sold the team, hooked him up with the Tampa Bay Bucks. He works for them. Now he's getting a Super Bowl ring.
Hey.
So, hey, just because you're not on the field, there's other ways.
The process is real. The process is real.
Yeah. So what do you like to do off the field? Like what are you into?
Oh man, off the field, man, I'm always busy, man. Like I said, I play video games for the most part, but business wise,
let's talk those video games. So what do we got?
Oh,
what do you play?
I play Madden, 2K, FIFA, Call of Duty. I ain't really into the Apex and the other stuff that the kids be playing when they be building and all that. I ain't into that. I'm into the
Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah, that Fortnite. I can't get down with it.
My kid, he builds. He'll like if we're playing like together, he'll like just build and like trap me inside. Like he'll build around me so I'm stuck.
Right.
So I'm horrible.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely on the. I'm currently trying to find me a P5, Andrew. Man, everything's sold out, so I'm stuck with the P4.
Here's my kid's gaming. Joker Gaming. All right.
Look at him. Look, shameless plug. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that kid's he's gotta pay rent, man. So he last month $800 he made on Twitch streaming.
Wow.
That's just
I'm
from
gonna tune in now. I'm gonna tune in to see what he's playing now.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm gonna tune in.
Yeah. You gotta check him out. Joker_Fatal is his name.
Oh wow.
So it's funny because we're super competitive in the Haines house. And so the other day he wanted to go play basketball. He's in 11th grade, so he's probably about 6'1" now. And I had to
tell me you lost.
No, I took it to him, dude. I couldn't let that kid beat me, man.
You better not, because once he beat you, it's over.
No, I know. That's the problem is he beats me in the video games all the time now. And he doesn't just he shows me no mercy. And it's kind of my own fault because I never was the parent that showed him any mercy. Like if he's 3 years old and we're playing basketball, I'm going to block the shot right in his face.
Every time. That's how my dad was to me. Push me down you got to be tough, man. Stop crying. Yeah, that's how he was with me.
So, that was all good, but now he does that to me on the video games, and so I don't even want to play.
And sooner or later, he's gonna be doing that to you on the hardwood. If he keep growing, he's gonna be pushing you around on the hardwood.
I don't know how much time I've got left. Like my wife was mad that I beat him so bad, and I was like, "Look, I only have a year or two left, probably, but
maybe if that."
Yeah. All right, so you play those video games, which is cool. I always thought that we should do something as a league and try to do a tournament where fans can win the opportunity to play against or play with some of the NAL players.
Right.
A lot of the guys play, and it'd be kind of something that we could do online or through Twitch or whatever. And
a lot of us got online and Twitch, so it definitely wouldn't be nothing out of the norm.
Yeah, because almost everybody that I've had on is gaming in some fashion. So outside of game, what's your best game?
You said what now?
What's your best game?
Between Madden and Call of Duty.
Who's your team when you play Madden?
My team is the Cowboys. So 9 times out of 10, I'm running with the Cowboys. That just got that new contract. Oh yeah, we own the running, but I can play with anybody. So most of the time we play, you got to do 3 randoms. If you don't like the team that you within your 3 randoms, the 4th random is an automatic.
Okay, all right. I'm horrible at Madden, but it's fun. So, and what are you, a PS4 guy?
PS4 guy. I used to be an Xbox guy, only because the PlayStation controllers were so small. But then I stopped liking the Xbox because the controllers just start becoming too big and bulky. They start looking like remote, like VCRs in your hand, like you got a whole laptop in your hand trying to play the game. So it's like the PlayStation controller start getting more, sleek and eye catchy with the lights on it. So you like, oh yeah, I gotta go back to PlayStation.
Yeah. So, and it's hard to get the PS5. Have you had any luck finding one?
I've been trying to get the PS5. Well, I never get games when they first drop because I always know they're gonna have stuff wrong with them. So me thinking that okay, that new year somebody gonna re-release it. Nope. So I mean, for those who are PS5 and PlayStation users, if you not one who big on watching DVDs and all that, get the digital version. If you want to watch DVDs, go get the one that show DVDs so I can get the digital version. Because now you stopping me from getting the game.
Wow, it's like people still watch DVDs.
That's what I thought.
Man, I was like, I have probably like 500 DVDs, and they've been in my garage for the last 7 years.
Man, you don't even watch film. You don't even watch film for football on DVDs no more. Everything is electronic with Huddle and all these other platforms that they use in the stream and record games now. Like DVDs.
Right. So outside of gaming, what other stuff do you like to do?
Like I said, I got some. I do personal training, fitness training. So that's how I make my income right now. I do a lot of group sessions, individual sessions, whether it's nutrition or weight loss or weight gain, or kids want to do
Did I lose you? You there? Well, make sure you post some questions for us. I'm sure we'll be back online here in a few minutes, seconds. So post any questions that you have for us as we're wrapping up.
In the game, I work with that. I train that too. I also coach at my high school, quarterbacks and receiver coach. So
you got to check out Justin Marcus, who was on the show. He has an app for trainers. So it's basically for people to find a trainer in their area. So he was sharing that with me. I thought it was pretty cool. So I'll have to send that to you. Webhead Fitness. But
definitely send me that. I'm gonna look it up.
So you mentioned the Cowboys are your favorite NFL team. What are some of your other teams that you root on in other sports?
I'm all over the place, Andrew, man. I'm all over the place. So I grew up a Cowboys fan.
Me too.
Born and raised. My dad a Cowboys fan. My mama a Cowboys fan. My grandma a Cowboys
fan. My dad
fan.
too. My dad brainwashed me.
Then I was a Chicago Bulls fan because when I got into basketball, Jordan was the guy. Like my uncle tried to brainwash me with Magic Johnson and the Lakers, but it was Michael or nobody. And of course, I like Allen Iverson being from the 757, but he was my hometown hero. He wasn't like my all-time great. So after Jordan, I found out about the guy LeBron, and I've been a LeBron fan ever since. Now, let me clarify, Andrew. I wasn't one of those fans who, jumped from team. No. I was still a Bulls fan. First year in LA. And the only reason is, and I had made a bet with my uncle, if Kobe Bryant team beat it was my partner's AAU team at the time. If Gigi and them beat his daughter team, then I become a Lakers fan. And just what happened, LeBron went there the same year, so it was perfect. So I still kind of was like, man, I'm a Bulls fan, but I just like LeBron. And then when we got AD, I'm a Laker. I got a Lakers face mask in here somewhere. I be wearing it every day. I try to wear it till the skin fall off. So now I'm a Lakers fan. In baseball, I'm a diehard Yankees fan. I'm a Yankees fan because Ken Griffey was always my favorite player because he played with his dad, and I thought that was the most awesomest thing ever. But I played shortstop in the infield most of the time growing up, and Derek Jeter was the guy. He was the guy between Derek Jeter, Nomar Garcia-Parra, and maybe Alex Rodriguez at the time. Shortstop was the place to be. So out of those three, I kind of linger more to Jeter because he was winning the championships, like, and the pinstripes. You can't go against the pinstripes.
No.
Soccer, I don't really have a team in soccer. I'm more of a player, like a guy. I was a Freddie fan at one point. Now I don't even watch soccer anymore. It's too much running going on. So I watch a little tennis. You know, I like Serena, Venus, of course. Tiger always gonna be my guy, but Phil Mickelson was always my second favorite, and I say Vijay Singh was my third. NASCAR, I was an Earnhardt guy, senior and junior, and then after them, I say Jeff Gordon. I don't really watch it too much now. If I had to pick somebody in there, I say Havlick. I think he finished top 10 today or yesterday, so I pick him. Boxing, Muhammad Ali for the heavyweight division, him and Tyson. Far as my light guys, I'm gonna go Floyd. Floyd, the best I ever seen with my own two eyes in my lifetime, as far as complete boxer. Is it sport I'm missing? I feel like I'm forgetting a sport because I watch them all.
Hockey?
Oh, hockey. I'm kind of torn. Okay, I was a Wayne Gretzky fan forever, but I'm from Virginia. We don't really have we have like the farm league teams, but we don't have a team. So right, we got the Norfolk Admirals. So my team would be the Tampa Bay Lightning because that was my first arena team I went to. We played in the Lightning Arena, and my second team would probably be the Capitals because that was another team we played when I was in Washington. So between
you basically work for both teams,
right? Now my WNBA team, without the shout of a doubt, is Washington, the Mystics. That's it. Now I used to like players like when Lisa Leslie and then when they was with the Sparks and Candace Parker and all them, but the Washington Mystics is my team because I know a lot of the girls that play on the team from us, like you said, being under the same ownership group. So that's my team. So my arena team, of course the Cobras will be my arena team.
Come on, man.
The Cobras would be my arena team. I'll trade Coach Rez, though. I would trade Coach Rez. Listen, I'll trade Coach Rez. I'll trade him. I'll trade Coach Rez. I wouldn't trade him to another team. I just, I'll give him promotion. I'll make him, president and president of football operations and GM.
Tell him he needs to learn how to cook so he can cook for you guys. Because I know Coach Foster with the flight, he's cooking for the players, man. So Coach Rez better step his game up.
Rez don't got. We cool, Coach. Long as he keep going to that little spot we go to down in Greensboro and get us that pulled chicken and all with the green beans, everything soul food style.
What?
He ain't got to worry about nothing. And plus, his wife do a mean dish. Oh yeah, she the cook in the family now.
Okay.
So long as we got her around, we won't need coach in the kitchen.
What's your
as long as we got her around, we all right. What's
your top food then? What's your go-to?
I use city guy, so of course I'm gonna say chicken. But now I've been on this Italian food lately. Last year the year before last when I was down in Greensboro with Squally, Squally Italian. So Squally put us on a lot of different Italian food, and when I was in Tampa, we had a food sponsor that was a Greek spot. So I've been trying a lot of different foods from a lot of different ethnicities. So right now my top two would be Italian, anything Italian, mainly crab meat, shrimp, and chicken Alfredo. I take that. And is it gyro, euro? Like, how do they pronounce it? Like,
I don't know.
So many people say it in a different way.
I know,
I'm gonna say
gyro. I hear it all different ways.
I heard euros. I heard gyros. I just know I like the lamb. Yeah. That's all I know.
I just say, look, I want that right there.
I like the lamb. Let me get the lamb.
Have you
some of the mayonnaise?
You ever eaten at a Brazilian steakhouse?
No. What I'm missing? What I'm missing?
So it's like heaven. First of all, do you like steak? Do you like
Love steak. I love steak.
So they bring steak around. It's like on these like big sticks, and they like cut it off right there for you, and you have little tongs. You grab the piece. They have fillet pieces. It's all kinds of stuff. It's probably my favorite spot to go. So I go there a lot. I like to eat, as if you've tuned in to any of the shows, So
my wife and I go I got to that.
In Orlando.
The closest I got to that.
No,
that's the closest I'm gonna get to that Bahama Breeze. That's it.
No. We're gonna get you to one. And
do they have any in Greensboro? Do you know? Do you know if they have any in Greensboro?
They've got to. I know they have. I know they got one near you. I want to say they have a Texas one in Brazil, maybe.
Oh yeah,
I know Richmond has 2 of them. But
Richmond, an hour and a half drive. If it's food good like that, I'm going to get it. I drove 4 hours last week for a crab cake.
I was working for the Fredericksburg Nationals baseball team, and so I drove an hour for Texas Roadhouse, or Texas de Brazil, not Texas Roadhouse, totally different. The Texas de Brazil. So that's a good one. So check that out. How about can you cook?
Yeah, I can cook. I'm a whiz in the kitchen, man. I was raised by my mom and my grandmas. I mean, my dad was there, but he can cook too, but he was busy with sports. So, the women in the family, they made sure us men can cook. They always told us, you don't need no woman to feed you, because you will know how to feed yourself. So I definitely know how to cook.
What's your specialty?
Ribs, man. I don't eat pork, so I do a mean beef rib, or anything brisket, anything bacon is my thing. Oh, yep, we got a Brazilian place in Greensboro. See, that's why you need to be the GM, man. That's why he need to be the GM. He be doing stuff like this. He be knowing. See, I told you he needed promotion. So, like the other night, I made a half rack of honey glazed bourbon ribs. I had fresh cut asparagus, pan fried. What else I made? Oh, I made some rice. I had some garlic and rosemary rice, and I made some homemade what we call them sweet potato jacks, where you take a sweet potato, sweeten it up, grind it all the way down, you put it in a croissant shell, and then you pan fry it. So I made some of those like a week ago. This was like a week ago. So yeah, when I get in the kitchen and really get in my cooking mode, yeah, I get in there and do my thing.
Good. That's good. I'm glad that I'm talking about food and I can smell it coming through my office here. So my dinner's almost ready, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So
what it smell like?
I'm getting fried chicken tonight. So you can't go wrong with that, man.
You sure it's chicken or alligator?
I could eat chicken every day. And the other thing that I need to become I need to be a paid endorser of is the air fryer. You need to get you an air fryer.
Man, I got 2.
Oh, do you? Oh man. I
got the air fryer oven. I got the regular air fryer, and then I got the one that they came out with that's like the rotisserie oven type joint.
I saw that on Home Shopping Network.
That's where I got it from.
I felt like I was an old guy. I was watching it online. TV.
Yeah, that's why I got it from.
Oh man, that was like
Yeah.
3 easy payments.
I got
and
2 of them.
we got one. My daughter bought it as the housewarming gift, and the problem is, you just can't make a lot in it. So we need multiple ones, but we've only had it since maybe September. The first time we tried it, we hated it. We're like, this thing sucks. And then I was like, let's try it one more time. And then literally every day we use it.
What's your favorite thing to put in there?
Wings. Man, wings.
They do come out juicy and crispy as I don't know what. You ever tried to put your vegetables in there, like your greens?
I did, and I didn't do a good job, but I didn't really look at a recipe. So I just kind of threw like asparagus in there, I think, or broccoli, and it just, you know what else is good is I would take chicken, put it in like a Ziploc freezer bag, but I would like marinate it in like Frank's buffalo sauce, like for like a day. Ooh. And then so I took that and then I throw that in the air fryer. And so it's like, it's just got that spice throughout it. And then it's crispy on the outside. It's
juicy on the inside.
Man, that food better be ready.
Hey man, that's what we need to do, man. The NAL need to start a cooking channel, man.
I'll tell you what, we should, because everybody that's been on here, there's a lot of good cooks, it sounds like. So that's what we need to come on here is video you giving us a recipe and cooking. Maybe that's going to be the second half of our show.
My guy Jarrell McKinney, Coach Red's about for you. My guy Jarrell McKinney, hopefully he come back to us this year to the Cobras because he got a lot of business stuff going on. When you talking about a cook, man, this man made some deep fried lobster tails with macaroni and cheese.
Damn.
And something else he made, man.
Well, I just know every time I visit one of these cities, man, I wanna be taken to the food spot.
Oh yeah, see now that Greensboro got the Brazilian spot, you know we gotta hit it. As soon as you come in town, that's where we going. That's our spot. Every time I see, hey, Drew, we going to Tech? Yeah, there we going.
Yep. Now, you don't want to do that before a game, okay? Because you'll leave there in a coma. So
I can't eat. I don't eat a lot before the game though. That's crazy. I'm kind of weird.
No, like, you eat the pregame
before the game. Not really. And before the game, all I need is like two fruit cups, 2 scoops of peanut butter, and maybe some slice of bread or something. I'm good all day. Like then we get to pregame meal, I might go in there and just get like if we go to Golden Corral or something, because that's why our pregame meal was last year. I go in there and get me like 2-3 scoops of rice and
you go right for that chocolate fountain, don't you?
Maybe some of that little teriyaki chicken, and then I'd be done. I'd be scared to eat a lot.
Finish it off with that chocolate fountain?
Mm-mm. The offensive linemen do though. They be going crazy.
Do they?
I'd be scared. I'd be scared, Andrew. I'd be scared, man. I didn't see some nasty stuff happen, man. I done seen guys get hit in the game and that would not be me. You know that would not be me.
Nah.
Because that's never gonna leave. I don't care how. Listen, there's gonna always be a story to tell somebody. So I cannot allow myself to be that guy. No, sir.
Yeah. Well, no, man. It was great chatting with you. Looking forward to the season. I mean, it's maybe 2 months away, a little less than 2 months away. Yeah. So
I'm waiting for them to send them emails about when we report for camp. They talking about stuff like that now. A lot of places opening up, so it's time to rock and roll.
We're crazy in Florida. I saw UFC is going to have a full arena in Jacksonville coming up for that. Yeah.
But you know, Miami and Atlanta, they was on their own rules anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 We don't care.
They've been on their own rules anyway.
Yeah. Well, no, keep in touch. You got my number. Let's chat sometime, and looking forward to seeing you this season.
Definitely, man. I got some off the field stuff. I'm gonna hit you up about that. I'm currently doing as well that I know you can give me a good insight on that guide me in the right way. So I'm definitely gonna lock you in and probably be hitting you up either later on today or tomorrow.
Sounds good, man.
I appreciate